Ja, du hältst jetzt nun einen Einblick in eine Gewohnheit, die ich täglich tue. Und hier beginnt es mit dem Free Daily. Also jeden Tag gibt es da nach einem gewissen Zufallsprinzip ein bestimmtes Buch da, welches dann hier im durchschnittlich wird das 15 Minuten lang etwa das Wichtigste zusammengefasst. Du kennst hier, einige dauern durchaus etwas länger und ja, das hat sicherlich so seine Berechtigung, dass das etwas länger dauert als andere und ja, kann dadurch sehr viel erfahren an Wissen, was ich sonst vermutlich so nie gelesen, gehört hätte. Und so bekomme ich neues Wissen. Da kann ich auch nach entsprechender Kategorie suchen, das mich besonders interessiert und da dazu passende Inhalte, die da veröffentlicht wurden, anhören und auch mitlesen, sofern es mich wirklich interessiert. Einige sind hier in der Tat gesperrt, einfach deshalb, weil einfach jeden Tag eines zur Verfügung steht und die anderen, da müsste ich jetzt da reingehen, das lesen, was hier steht, oder die vereinfachte Variante, das Ganze mir anhören und schon habe ich hier diesen ersten Einstieg in diese Thematik. Nun, in der Tat ist das mal das, was ich dir hier gezeigt habe. Es gibt noch ein anderes, was ich auch noch täglich, seitdem ich das hier so gefunden und gesehen habe, in englischer Form. Und zwar geht es hier auch um Bücher, wo um jeden Tag ein anderes Thema thematisiert wird. Und ja, da kennst du das eines noch nicht ganz abgeschlossen habe. Da bleibt noch etwas übrig und das ist bereits das Neue. Also fortlaufend hier dasselbe Prinzip, das Thema und hier durchschnittlich 15 Minuten. Also hier passt es ziemlich gut. Und ja, hier sind diese Begriffe und die sind hier aufgeführt. Und ja, natürlich verstehe ich da nicht alles, aber immerhin, es ist schon mal, ja, kann ich das hier lesen und mir so zur Kenntnis nehmen. Und ja, das ist hier, ich bin da fertig, weil ich möchte dir hier in der Tat noch Folgendes zeigen. Da gibt es immer wieder ein Angebot, weil das ist da, die sind ja daran bestrebt, hier möglichst das Ganze auch kommerziell als wirtschaftlich zu nutzen. Nun, hierzu habe ich noch zusätzlich etwas Interessantes, es geht ja um Obstacle in the Way. Und dazu gibt es tatsächlich bei Google, als ich das hier eingetippt habe, einige Angaben dazu. Und hier gibt es WUP, ist hier eine wissenschaftliche fundamentale Strategie, mit der Menschen ihre Wünsche finden. Und hier ist noch nichts mit diesem Obstacle Camper, doch das ist ein Akronym, eine Abkürzung, wo dann dieses darin enthält. Und hier gibt es hier, ja, wie geht das mit dem MUP überhaupt? Und hier erkennst du sehr schön diese entsprechenden Metalle, wie das hier funktioniert und geht. Nun, hier geht es dann natürlich um den Start, was das überhaupt ist, mehr zu erfahren. Und hier bereits, das ist der Wish, also einen Wunsch zu haben, ein Ergebnis zu haben, Outcome. Und jetzt folgt hier das Hindernis. Das ist Obstacle. Okay. Und das nächste ist, nach diesem Hindernis folgt der Plan. Okay. Und damit soll jetzt einfach begonnen werden. Also es ist ein Hindernis vorhanden, indem ich jetzt beispielsweise das hier zur Kenntnis genommen habe, dass das täglich gehört werden kann, nach einem Zufallsprinzip. Und das ist das Hindernis. Und jetzt der Plan ist, mir das wirklich anzuhören und damit zu beginnen. Ich kann dann natürlich einen erstellen, so einen konkreten. Doch es geht jetzt wirklich darum, und das ist auch ja, wie kann ich das überwinden, dieses Hindernis, indem ich jetzt hier einfach drauf gehe und damit starte. Ich kann jetzt hier natürlich mit dem Lesen beginnen und in der Tat verstehe ich dann nicht alles und ich kann da, und das tue ich auch immer wieder, einfach einzelne Begriffe markieren und die dann übersetzen. Und so kann ich das entsprechend hier zur Kenntnis nehmen und übersetzen. Ich bevorzuge eher das Leseverständnis, demzufolge werde ich da diese Situation.
Chapter 1. How do you view obstacles that stand in
Aber
your
ich möchte
way?
gerne mitlesen.
Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered emperors of Rome, discovered an idea that has proven timeless. Even with a battle before him, he wrote a self-addressed formula for the many problems he was sure to face ahead. He found that obstacles should be seen as stepping stones and realized that impediments are nothing but a route to success. In time, this idea became fuel for millions of individuals from different spheres of life. This is an idea that resonates across generations while retaining its potency even today. Many of those who understood the process described above went on to achieve greatness. They understood that it's normal to face struggles. They knew that battles, barriers, and challenges create an essential part of the journey. Of course, all of this means that you have a golden opportunity to learn. This isn't restricted to just a few people. You too can ride the waves of challenges to your destination. An obstacle need not be a complete stop. Simply learn how to overcome it and do better next time. Ryan Holiday reiterates this belief and acknowledges the mind game obstacles play on us. You come to terms with failure and settle for leftovers when your dream job, new business, or revamped health are just beyond the barrier. Sadly, your natural response is to keep it safe, to wallow in regret, and to remain helpless. Consequently, you hide behind fear by blaming the system, focusing all your strength on the factors that had dealt you an unfair hand. Companies can also benefit from this advice. It can teach them how to become better people or brands. Also, it can open their eyes to faster and more efficient ways to do things that were previously labeled impossible. All of this is only possible when you start to identify your obstacles. Without that, you're swimming through mud. Is it the color of your skin that held you back, or is your qualification nowhere near the requirements for achieving your goals? Whatever they might be, you must have read somewhere about people who had better reasons to give up and had to find ways to go around barriers. According to Ryan Holiday, achieving this involves 3 interwoven forms of discipline: perception, will, and action. Read on to learn more. Chapter 2. Perception is the first discipline you need to overcome obstacles. Perception is how you see the world or situations you're currently in. In other words, your view of what is going on around you has a say in who you are and what you believe. Perception makes or breaks people, and the only people that understand how to see situations for what they are can grab the benefits of the opportunity. Ryan Holiday cites the investment expert John D. Rockefeller as an individual who could master his perception and see through the mayhem of the business world. Rockefeller's company, Standard Oil, started from obscurity to dominate the market, and it withstood 3 trying economic periods in U.S. history. At this point, it was clear that Standard Oil was only mirroring the personality of the owner. Rockefeller's disciplined perception gave him insights into the opportunities that thrived in chaos. He sought strategies to find a way through obstacles, so his perception didn't see these challenges as barriers anymore. Similarly, you can choose to know what you want to see. You could focus on the negatives or magnify possibilities and the chances that each barrier avails. Perception is personal. You have more control over what you believe than you realize. However, to achieve this, you must unlearn how you have come to see things. Remain calm when in doubt or when others panic. Assess the problem and look for answers. My life is one long obstacle course with me as the chief obstacle. Ryan Holiday. In your pursuit of answers, you must come to recognize your power to choose between fight or flight. You can decide to find patterns that could turn the obstacles into a learning phase, or you could crumble in the face of barriers and accept defeat. This moment of truth determines your output. As such, you understand your capacity to overturn situations is the second step at disciplining your perception. It would help if you also held steady nerves in the face of challenges. Regardless of the obstacle, you can plan a countermove to chart a way through it. There is nothing for you to worry about. There are only opportunities to come. Did you know? According to Oxford Languages, the definition of perception is the way in which something is regarded, understood, or interpreted. Chapter 3. Start practicing objectivity to change your perception. The point is, closed doors are not always what they appear to be. It all comes down to how you see it. To you, it is a dead end, but to others, it is a chance to find new routes or blaze a trail through it and teach others to follow. Here, Ryan Holiday shares that subjective and objective mentalities define the difference between these two sets of emotional responses. The former, which is subjective, takes a look at the door, blows the situation out of proportion, and finds all types of excuses to back up their helplessness. On the other hand, an objective look at the situation would naturally allow you to see things for what they really are. This is a closed door, which implies there is a key. At first, choosing objectivity takes mastery, but you are unstoppable once you get the hang of it. However, this process involves discipline, as mentioned earlier, and it requires the ability to see things from a different point of view. You can change how you see things, but first, you need to understand your default setting. Being able to alter the obvious gives you leverage over what you want to see. By doing so, you can selectively pick details of the obstacle, crop it to a manageable size, and go on to solve it. In contrast, manipulating your perspective allows you to focus on the chances before you. There will always be things that you can't control, but by choosing to give it your all, you're doing something positive. The most compelling success stories feature people who faced impossible things and succeeded. The lesson? Live in the present, think differently, and believe that nothing is beyond your ability. You can do anything that you firmly set your mind to. You simply need to believe it. Chapter 4. Don't just sit there waiting for opportunities. Take action. Action is how you utilize your newly found perception. Having said that, actions could undo all your thought process in the blink of an eye. In some cases, the discipline of action involves calculated steps forward, instead of brute force and obstacle maneuvering in the place of obstacle scaling. All in all, this notion combines flexibility and persistence while ensuring that each decision takes you closer to your goal. To believe in something and not to live it is dishonest. Ryan Holiday. You must put it to work, act on your perception, overcome the barrier, and prepare for the next one. The chances are likely that something or someone will stand in your way, but see it as a learning opportunity. The most important information is your actions and inactions. Bearing this in mind, Ryan Holiday asserts that your best option is to face each obstacle with energy, persistence, and cutthroat mentality, and an eye for opportunity. Your dreams aren't going to land in your lap magically. Do something about them. Don't wait for the perfect conditions before you decide to set out to achieve your goals. You can learn to capitalize on the faintest hint of success and never look back. In other words, you do not need all the stars to align. All you need is one star to get moving. Nevertheless, sometimes success does not come cheap. You might need to throw everything you have at the obstacle. But instead, isn't it even more satisfying when everything goes right? In a way, persistence helps us find new ways of doing things, especially when we have exhausted conventional solutions. With each trial and error, we find unsuitable iterations and failures that teach us what and where to improve. You can see failure as a full stop or a bend in the road. The choice is yours. Chapter 5. Be patient as you move through the process. As you begin your journey towards achieving your goals, you'll encounter problems, learn from them, and move in another direction. You'll start to appreciate each step, and you'll learn not to take the process for granted. In essence, the future might look bleak for now, but the progress you have made today is the only assurance that you are heading in the right direction. The process demands that you always give your best, whether what you are doing is comfortable. Similarly, the process does not show you the chance to be picky. Instead, it would help if you took charge of what you can control and did your very best at every opportunity. When things get tough, don't throw in the towel. Focus on the process and see the end game. Doing work and working smart are two different things. Always find an edge, a way to take advantage of weaknesses. As such, you should avoid wasting time doing work that won't help you move closer to your goals. If it is not improving your technique or helping you in any way, then it is the wrong work. Intelligent people do less work because they prefer exerting force on meaningful things. For instance, if you own a business, your fiercest competitors know by now all the tricks you have up your sleeves. They are a step ahead of you because they have learned to anticipate your next move. Just repeating the same thing will not change your situation. You need to become unpredictable and make decisions that would throw them off guard. As you carry on down the road, you will start to learn when to persist, when to improvise, the moments that require unpredictability, or when your inactions could serve as the answer. Choosing inactions over actions could work wonders when you least expect them to. Irrespective of all strategic moves you make, there are times, as many come to discover, when nothing works. In that case, you need to use another strategy that Ryan Holiday talks about in detail. That is will. Chapter 6. When nothing seems to work, use your will to overcome challenges. In those moments when all your mind conditioning exercises and actions had yielded nothing, when you have thrown everything at a problem and yet it is unyielding, you are left with two options. You can crumble at first sight of defeat, or you can turn to your will. From there, you can transform your loss into a humbling experience or a learning opportunity from which to improve. Ryan Holiday refers to will as humility rather than ambition. It stems from the belief that sometimes we are helpless when we encounter things that we cannot control. Many things can and will go wrong. Yet, we live in a world where we believe everything should go our way. Our will prepares us for moments like this and equips us with the tools to get through them. Life is very rarely a bed of roses. Your will allows you to get up, dust yourself off, and carry on. Furthermore, bad times are inevitable. We all have our fair share of misfortune. Some have built a fortress around their mind, making it almost impossible for these situations to alter their nature. They do not go wallowing in self-pity because they have strengthened their core, becoming impervious to negativity. Instead, they learn and try again. However, at that moment, they are equipped with all they need. So being aware of everything that could go wrong, understanding the obstacles that could rear their heads, and knowing when to prepare for the worst makes you better and wiser. Regardless of the setback, you should not stop having a passion for what you do. Conclusion. In the end, you will learn that your ability to overcome one obstacle leads you down a path trodden with barriers. The more success you crave, the more challenges are ahead of you. As such, mental strength, the discipline to act wisely, and the will to accept the uncontrollable are your only trusted companions. Nobody goes through life without a barrage of challenges and obstacles in front of them. It's part and parcel of the journey. You can allow each of these to knock you down to the point where you simply don't try anymore. Or you can face them with bravery. The choice is yours at the end of the day. Seeing obstacles as a learning opportunity will allow you to reach your goals more quickly. The route forward that you think will work at the start is rarely the one that gets you there. You learn many things along the way. You know about yourself, but you also learn about your capabilities. You may need help in some areas. You may need to gain some extra training. Or it could be that you surprise yourself with your resilience and your ability to face challenges head on. By doing that, you'll find a way to get around them. It's easy to have the anything is possible mindset that is thrown at us in everyday society. But that isn't the actual truth. Yes, you can indeed do anything you put your mind to, but there will always be things that simply aren't meant for us. Does that mean you shouldn't try? No. If you have a goal, plan a way forward. Face it with bravery, and if it doesn't work, learn from it and use that experience in your next endeavor. With that mindset, you'll take on the world. Try this. Think carefully about your goals and choose one or two which are most important to you right now. Sit down and brainstorm the challenges that are likely to come your way. Map out a strategy to help you overcome those challenges and boost your overall confidence.
Finished summary. Ja, und da könnte ich das Ganze noch What did you like it und teilen. Genau, und das ist hier die Bibliothek. Und das ist das, was noch nicht komplett angehört habe. Und jetzt kommt die Mitteilung, weil ja das schon vorbei war und könnte das hier so nutzen. Und ja, also damit ich diese Angabe angebe, darauf verzichte ich jetzt. Das heißt, ja, das, was ich soeben gehört habe und jetzt sogar solch ein Angebot, also sehr attraktiv, doch eins reicht und ich belasse es bei dem und ansonsten hätte ich da die Möglichkeit auch noch viele weitere anzuhören, die hier zur Verfügung stehen. Ja, also genau. Genau, also eine tolle Sache und somit